Welcome back to the Scaling Smart podcast. This is the podcast where we help other accountants work smarter, scale faster, and make more money leveraging AI, workflow automation, and the latest and greatest tools and technology for accountants selling advisory services. So today's episode is all about how to get better clients who pay more and need less hand-holding. So a lot of times us accountants, we don't have a lead problem. We have a quality problem, quality of the clients on our roster. So I ran into this for sure when I started off as a compliance only firm and have been transitioning and have transitioned a lot of those clients, 90+% of them, right? So if you ever thought to yourself, man, I wish I had more clients that value what I actually do. I'm capable, but I just don't have the clients that value it. This episode is for you. So today we're going to break down a couple ways of how to get better clients, the kind that actually appreciate your expertise, pay you well, and don't waste your time. They respect your time. And we're going to start with something simple, but yet like the most powerful thing that happened and literally like help explode my firm, not overnight, but kind of overnight. Client referrals from the right clients can change your firm. And that's for the good or the bad, because if you get referrals from the wrong clients, this could be a disaster for your time, for your firm, for your offer, and just overall, it could just, have you contemplating your whole firm overall in general. Like, why am I getting these type of clients? Because you have the wrong center of influences. So if you think for yourself, and this is what I did, which one of my clients am I doing the best work for, getting paid the right amount, and I would love to have more of these type of clients, that client should be raving about their service that they're getting from you. And I had clients that were, really happy. I knew that they were, I wouldn't even have to think twice about sending them a email that said like, hey, here's the link to my Google page if you want to make a review. I know for sure they would leave a great review. And then there's those clients that you're like, I don't know, they might complain about, price, even though they're like my lowest paying client. One of those things. So that was it for me. Now, not all clients will have referrals for you. Some of them don't want to share you, and that's another thing, but they love having you as like their secret weapon. Others just don't know anyone else that would probably be a good fit for you, and I've run into that too, and that's okay too. Better for clients not to send you those, like we said, we don't want to call them terrible, but they're terrible leads. I don't want any referrals from you. You're good, but no referrals from you. There's that situation with certain clients. But then there are those clients, those center of influence clients, the ones whose recommendations actually carry weight with you and other successful business owners. So the things that you see them doing and the things you see them accomplishing make you want to lean into them and see who's in their network and maybe if there's a good fit, because I believe that you're a great client, and I believe that you have other people in your network that you could share me with, and that will be something better for them and beneficial to everyone involved. So those center of influence clients, their recommendations carry weight with you and with other business owners that are successful. So that one client that I had opened up a massive new network for me of advanced clients. So not just anyone, but the right people, the type of clients that will actually listen to your advice and respect it, see the value in your premium pricing and your premium offers, and they'll refer other high value clients from you. But here's the thing. If you're delivering a premium experience, a world-class experience, your best clients won't send you their problems. They don't want to mess up a good thing. So they'll send you people that they want to send you as a gift to their whoever they're sending you to as like their guy. I'm going to refer my accountant to you, and you're going to have the peace of mind and the level of clarity that I have. So think about that for a second. I mean, that's what you're giving them, and that's what they're gifting to whoever they're referring to, and you are getting business in the same realm. This is a win-win all across the board. So don't be afraid to think about who those center of influences could be. Sometimes it's other accountants, sometimes it's other professionals. You'll be surprised. But don't be afraid to ask your best clients for introductions, because at the same time, you also want to be selective with who you take in. You don't want to be asking everyone to send everyone your way. And now you got to spend time filtering through. And now you're going to offend people because you say, oh, well, I don't, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean send me them. And because remember, not all clients will deserve your time and energy. So the other thing I want to shift to is knowing who to listen to, because a lot of times client feedback matters, but context matters more. So it's easy to focus on that bad feedback and making that one client, that one referral happy. But we've all had that one client, or if you're starting out, you're going to experience this, that one referral or whoever comes around that complains about your fees. The one that expects the most, pays the least, but somehow feels like they're paying you top dollar. So if you're my smallest, least profitable client, and I just kind of want to do you a favor because you're a referral, but you expect custom reports year round and maybe even 24/7 availability, CFO level strategies for small businesses that are not, cracking six figures, and they want all of that for the price of tax prep. Yeah, I don't value your feedback. You're not the type of feedback that I need to build my future firm off of. So instead, focus on what your best clients think and what they're telling you their feedback. Do you like these new tools? I'm thinking about buying this new software and investing and giving it to some more of my clients, but I wanted to show it to you first. I mean, I've had things like that I've shared with some of my clients, and that their feedback made me lean into certain software. In some cases, it made me, not want to buy or renew certain software because they didn't like certain features of it. So, but more often they would, they feel like, hey, you're giving me like the inside scoop on your best stuff. So they really like that. And they'll also keep it honest with you and tell you, hey, I really like that thing. You should make that something that we might even pay more for it. So the good clients, you want to focus on what they think. You want to try to reach out to their leads and get leads and referrals from them. They're the ones who pay premium pricing without hesitation. They appreciate your work and they refer you to their great referrals. They see you as an investment, not an expense. So when they're passing you around or they're passing you along to their, other successful business owners, they see that as gifting you a great investment. Here's a great investment that I did. That's what these people do. I mean, it is what it is. We as accountants do it as well, too. The more successful ones that I know, they're sharing information that they're getting with other accountants that seem to be forward thinking and interested and in the same mindset. So they see it as an investment. Hey, you should invest in this. It's a good software. Hey, you should invest in this type of, tech stack. It's the one that you should work on. It's helped me XYZ. So lean into those clients, lean into the good referrals, and know how to filter out the bad ones. That's really what we're talking about today. And then also, this episode is all about how to get the right clients, how to get better clients who pay more and need less hand holding. So, of course, you're going to look for your clients that are already in that category and ask them for referrals. You're going to look for the context within the feedback that you're getting from the different clients that you have. But beyond referrals, I want to talk quickly about the SEO and online presence play. So if we're talking about like digital marketing, referrals are powerful for sure. But what about clients that totally don't know you and they're just searching online? That's where SEO and your online presence is going to come in. So if a business owner searches for an accounting service, an accounting firm, and your website is just outdated, unclear, about what you do, or just non-existent. There's a good amount of firms that just do not have a website. You're missing out on some high quality, high paying leads. I'll tell you that straight up from what I've experienced. Some of my best clients and referrals from best clients came from phone calls from, hey, I was looking online and I saw your stuff look decent. It looked good online. And I've been, evolving my website, and I finally feel like I have my website looking like how I want to. And it gets me leads, it gets me new client conversations, and it gives me the ability to filter out pretty easily. So think about how you evaluate something that you're going to be a customer. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. If you're looking for something like, let's say, for example, software, you're going to be doing some research. If you're looking for a lawyer, even if you get a referral for a lawyer, you're probably still going to look them up online, right? And the best anything, where do you start? You start by looking online. I mean, it is what it is. That's the modern way that we do business nowadays. And here's the reality. Modern business owners that are going to embrace your style, they do the same thing when they're looking for an accountant. So having a great online presence isn't optional anymore. It's a lead magnet, and it's mandatory. So I want to give you this concept here in this episode. We're talking about getting the better clients and the ones that will pay the best and will fit right into the category of what you're looking for. Here's why we often, why business owners will pay you, and why you should also think about paying for marketing. If I meet a business owner, let's say, for example, $1 million in revenue to keep it round, and I recommend them something like a $2,500 a month, $30,000 a year package for their work. We're giving them something, let's say we're giving them advisory reports on a certain cadence monthly. We're doing reconciliations however frequently, and we're doing their tax advisory check-ins, and we're doing their tax planning and tax return. That's 3% of $1 million. So I'm taking over the financial department function, accounting department, and tax of your business, your small business. So you focus on growing your $1 million business to $2 million. I'll keep counting, and I'll keep doing this stuff to make sure this does, this grows as you grow without, you're going to get a good return. Because if you go from 1 million to 2 million, they're not thinking like, oh, you're just going to double my fees to 60,000. Maybe there will be more opportunities, but they're not thinking like that. They're thinking, okay, well, let me lock this in because my plans are to double in size, and I want to make sure everything is structured right. Now let's flip that mindset to our industry as accounting firms. How do we view our spending on something that could help us double in size, And I'm guilty of it myself. We love to focus on tax savings, margins, efficiencies within those margins, but rarely do we talk about ad spend and business and marketing, other growth things that other industries just do. If you look outside of accounting firms, and making your decision to go out on your own, or how you're structuring your firm, I've seen clients that are coaching clients, or things that are product sales, where they don't experience some of the luxuries we get as accountants. They don't get recurring every year. The same client comes in the door and needs you to help you do XYZ. They don't get customers that stay with you for 5 years plus, 7 years average, that kind of thing. So they have to constantly spend money on marketing. And in some cases, I've seen clients who will spend 50% of revenue on marketing, and they just see their numbers going up. So if you're making $1 million and you spend $500,000, you made 500 grand as that margin. You would spend 5 million to make 10 million. If that's the case, that's your goal, is to just keep growing and maybe shrink that number a little bit. But hey, 5 million instead of 500,000, we're just adding a zero to all these numbers: ad spend, marketing, and revenue. So that's how other businesses kind of look at it. I know that's not exactly the growth percent. You don't want to spend 50% as an accountant because, I don't want to spend 500 grand to get $1 million firm, because there's other things that go into it that might, that might wipe out all the profits, with tech and team and just overall what I'm doing. So, but what about 3%? Like we said with our $1 million client that's spending 2,500 a month. What if you make, or you're trying to do a $1 million firm, and you're going to spend 3% on marketing and growth, right? Instead of tying that investment to how much annual revenue this is going to be, what about recurring revenue? Depending on how your firm runs, but if you're getting subscription clients and your customer lifetime value, it's way bigger than 1 year of fees. So sometimes spending money up front on marketing is worth it. A client that's going to stay for years, it's a strategic move. It's an investment. Like we said, it's an investment, not an expense. Just like when we tell clients, hey, it's an investment to have me on your team handling your stuff, because we're going to do what we got to do. So think of marketing the same way. Don't just throw your money down any pit. Work with a good agency is what we decided to do, and it pays off. So if you're starting or growing your own accounting firm and you want to build a business that works for you on your terms, you're in the right place. Every week we'll dive into real life firm strategies, how to charge more, work less, use better tech, and move up the advisory ladder. So whether you're tired of compliance chaos or you just want to scale without burning out, this show gives you the tools, the stories, and templates to do it smarter. So subscribe, hit the bell, and join the other accountants who are working smarter, scaling faster, and building the lifestyle firm they actually want. One other thing I want to leave you with while we're on the topic of getting new clients. In my case, going from compliance to more advisory subscription style of a firm, in a hybrid kind of way where we still do the compliance, but we also won't take on new compliance work without advisory service or accounting services as well. One client, when I was going through this transition, one new good client used to replace like 5 or more bad ones. So think about that. Bringing in one better client gave us the power to fire the bottom 5. So think of that when you're thinking about getting better clients and reaching out and doing your outreach. How do you make the best clients send more of them to you? How do I get my best center of influence to send me more of those good quality people like them? And maybe it means I take them out to lunch. Maybe it means I send them dinner or something, send them out to dinner or something like that. Whatever it is, send them a basket, give them a discount on their services if they send you a lead, even though they didn't ask for it. Things like that go a long way. So we've talked about a lot of that stuff here. So if you're here and you've wondered about how do I attract clients to my firm, how am I going to start getting this revenue engine going, this episode was for you. Hopefully you picked up something from it. Love to hear from what your thoughts are from you. Drop that below. And next time I'm excited to talk about the tech stack. I want to talk about the tech stack that I use, tools that actually pay for themselves, and how to spot out and weed out those tools that are just going to be a waste of time. So anyway, hit subscribe and let's get to work.